for decades, or let me say centuries, our records holds it that God has so blessed us with natural resources. Not only blessing us with natural resources, God has made it possible that these natural disasters hardly happen in Africa. Or let me be specific, Nigeria. Yes, we've not had occurrences of earthquakes. We've not had occurrences of tsunami. We've not had occurrences of volcanic eruptions. But the most of the natural disasters that can easily be managed are the ones we've experienced. And just recently, for decades, there have not been occurrences of these natural disasters. And then recently you start wondering, what actually is the problem? What is happening? Because it is so fortunate that now this is somebody's house, and possibly somebody was trapped in this house when this flooding started. Now, if it doesn't happen to you, or if it hasn't happened to you, sometimes you have to ask yourself questions. What if this thing happened to me? What if I am the one trapped in this house? What if this is my building? What if this is my house? What if they have families trapped in this house? But what actually is the problem? The resources we're supposed to manage and channel this erosion, build proper drainage system. Only a few people are sitting down in the House of Assembly, or we call them senators, discussing the fate of this country just to embezzle money. Imagine a country where the major problem now you're hearing in almost all the states is natural disaster like flooding. The Senate sat down, analyzed a budget for the country, and decided to approve a budget of 266 million naira for street light installation. One street light, 266 million naira. Now you and I are still sitting down. Our pastors or religious leaders are telling us to pray that it is only God that can solve the problems of this country. Yes, our religious leaders are turned tools used by our politicians to keep us where we are. Because just tell me, are we praying that God should come down from heaven to come and drive our politicians from offices? Or maybe God should come down from heaven, come and maybe buy our politicians? Or God should come down from heaven to come and fix our roads, our electricity and what have you, our drainage system? Is that what God should come and help us to do? Because I don't understand. God has already given us everything we want, everything we need to better the situation of this country. In fact, God has made our leaders so stupid that they can no longer hide these tactics anymore. They can no longer hide their corruption and looting anymore. Imagine a Senate house, a representative house, deciding the fate of this country, sat down and approved a budget of 266 million naira to install one street light when the country is ravaging every day by flooding. What else do we really want God to come and do for us before we stand up and demand accountability from these people? Because God has done enough for us, revealing who these people are to us. They can no longer hide their corrupt tactics. They can no longer hide their looting. Everything is now visible to us. We're seeing these things. But we are waiting on God to come and help us. What is wrong with us?